Vanishing Point, a novel by Keith A. Kenel, 11 of 101. Part 11. "I'm sorry, Skylar," Miss Shannon said quietly. "I didn't realize that your father was dead. That must be very difficult for you and your mother. So, when you say you saw him, you must mean that you saw someone who looked just like him?" Skylar shook her head. "No, that's what I thought at first, but he looked so much like my daddy that I think he really is him." "I see," the girl's teacher said gently, nodding her head 3 times slowly. "And how would you explain that, seeing your father on the playground even though he's passed?" "I don't have an explanation. I just know that the man I saw had to be my daddy. Sometimes we see people that remind us about this. I've had it happen to me lots of times." "Did anyone else see this man?" Miss Shannon asked. "Well, yeah, Sarah did, and so did Ms. Yule and Mr. Lance. Mr. Lance was talking to him, and when I asked Ms. Yule if she knew who he was, she said she didn't and told us to go line up, and the more I think about it, the more I think it was my daddy." "Mr. Lance spoke to this man? Where was this exactly?" "Just outside the fence. Me and Sarah was over playing Foursquare." "Honey, I know it must be hard moving as much as you and your mother do, and that you must miss your daddy terribly, but if he's dead, it just couldn't have been him, right?" "Well, I'm not stupid. I know that if he's dead, he can't be out walking around by the playground, but I know what I saw. You could ask Mr. Lance who it was. Him and Ms. Yule were on the walkie-talkies talking about him." "And how would you know that?" she asked gently. "That they were talking about this man who looked so much like your father? Were you standing so closely that you could hear them?" "No, but I saw them looking at him and then whispering to each other, and then I saw Ms. Yule looking at my daddy and talking on the walkie-talkie, and then Mr. Lance did the same thing after he talked to Daddy." "I see. Well, that is very strange, and from what you've told me, I'm sure it couldn't have been your father, but I'll be happy to talk to Sean and Jim about it later, and I'll ask Mrs. Layer as well. If there was a stranger looking around the playground during recess, I'm sure they were letting Suzanne know about the situation." "Listen, honey, I know it's hard, but can we try to just put it on hold for now and get back to work? I promise I'll follow up later, but for now we have work to do. You promise?" "I do. I absolutely will." "Okay. Thanks, Miss Shannon. I know you'll do it if you say so." "I will. Oh, and what's your father's name?" "Caleb. His name is Caleb." "Okay, let me just write that down. Caleb Kaiser. Got it." "Oh, no. My daddy's last name is Morse. My mom and me went back to being Kaisers after Daddy died. Daddy's name is Caleb Ezra Morse."